Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. One of you mentioned to me that I should talk about, for some reason, I'm not sure why you mentioned it, but it was sort of off topic, but the Shostakovich Fourth Symphony with Bernard Haitink in Chicago. You said, oh, it's so much better than the other Chicago version. Well, that's with Previn. And I think that's the one that was meant, although that wasn't, I think, the one that was stated. And, there was all kinds of, hyperbole associated with that particular statement, as there so often is. It's the best in the universe. It's fabulous. It's terrific. And, I often wonder when people make those claims, how much they've really heard. Because, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to, exalt myself over some of you, because some of you have heard much more than I have, or much more intently specific works. I mean, it just depends, right? But here's a real case in point. So I went and I listened to this, which I've had sitting around for like 1,000 years, and I brought it around in the boxes. It just happened that coincidentally, as I was unpacking, this popped out, and I hadn't listened to it. I just hadn't had time. So I plonked it on. The reason I hadn't is because it comes with a bonus DVD. It's from the Chicago Symphony's own label, CSO Resound, called Beyond the Score, which is a registered trademark. See, it's got a registered trademark. I guess I can't say we should ever look beyond the score without getting sued. Anyway, Beyond the Score, is music dangerous? This is a multimedia extravaganza where they interview Haitink, and they've got a narrator and an actor, and they tell the story behind the music, and Stalin pops up, and then I didn't watch it. I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't have any interest in these things. I mean, I love learning about the composer and what happened with specific works, but dramatizations don't do it for me, and the opinions of artists do it for me even less, frankly. So all I wanted to do was listen to Shostakovich's Fourth Symphony. I'm totally focused on the music. And the other stuff, if you like it, if that's one of those things that interests you, then by all means, you go for it. It's there. It doesn't cost any more. It's lovingly produced, I can tell from reading the notes and stuff and whatnot, so that's fine. Anyway, the Fourth Symphony, is it the best ever? Is it better than Previn's recording with Chicago on EMI? Hell no. It just is not. I'm sorry to say. Is it good? Yes, it's good. It's quite good. I mean, the Fourth Symphony is not a symphony where the people who do it are not going to do it, or are going to do it if they're not up to it. Let's put it that way. It's such a crazy, wild piece, and Haitink's done it twice. Now, his first recording with the London Phil is in his Shostakovich cycle, and that also was nothing particularly special. It's a little bit on the droopy side, and this is even droopier. And the funny part about it is that it doesn't start out that way. It begins with, a good driving tempo. Ba ba bum 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 ba dum ba da da dum bum bum ba da da dum bum ba da 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 ba 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 da dum bum ba. It sounds really good, and you think it's going to keep up. But the problem is the first movement is 29 minutes and 39 seconds. And the finale is 31 minutes long. What that means is that the quick stuff goes well. It really does. I mean, the big chorale in the finale, blah, 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 it's just fine. It's fine. But what that means is that the quiet stuff droops. It drags, because that's where the extra time is. It's about proportions. And this symphony needs to keep moving, because it has dead spots if you don't keep it moving. And Haitink does not get over the dead spots unscathed. Some of the dead spots sound a little dead. I'm sorry to say. I wish it weren't so. I really do, because I love the piece, and he's a fabulous conductor, and he knows his Shostakovich. He's done amazing stuff, but his Shostakovich cycle is like that. You get amazing things where you don't expect them, like the 12th Symphony, and then he bores you where he really ought to just be exciting and let it all hang out, like in the Leningrad or the Fourth Symphony. And when I say he bores you, I don't mean this is bad. Don't get me wrong. It's quite good. But it's not nearly as good as Previn's. Oh my goodness, that's much more exciting and much more coherent, much more cogent. It unites these ungainly episodic movements much more successfully than this performance does. It's also better recorded. I mean, this is live. It's not badly recorded again, but it's not state of the art by any stretch of the imagination. And so here we have a decent Shostakovich Fourth with a huge bonus thing attached to it. But is it one of the great ones? No, it is not. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.